right, Shalom. All right, we're the brothers out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. First and foremost, we want to give our praise to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSI, BAHASHAM, That belongs to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to all the icon that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, just coming at you with a quick lesson, and it's going to be centered around the Lord bringing you through low points. All right, that's a part of this walk. As the Lord is going to bring you through positions of difficulty, straits, which we can get that as well. But that's a part of this walk. We're going to go through things, all right, and that's what's going to, judge our character and bring us, basically show who we really are. When you go through certain straits, and the Lord basically breaks you down, because the Lord will basically ruin your life. He'll take everything from you. All right, and we've seen that countless times again. Especially when you first come in the truth, the Lord, whether He may take away your woman, take away your job. All right, take away your living situation. There's plenty of things that the Lord will put you through just to basically humble you, all right, and to show you to show you His power and show you how He works in your life. Okay, all right. So I got something real quick. This Isaiah 26:4. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord YAHAWAH is everlasting strength.
Right, and the scriptures say trust in the Lord. And one thing about trusting an individual, which the Lord wants you to trust them, He has to see if your integrity lasts on the highs and lows. Just like if you have a woman, the scriptures speak about if you have a friend or an individual of close companionship, prove him first. So say for instance you got a woman, it's not always about what you actually have, it's all about the highs and the lows that to judge a woman's character if she's really down for you or not. And the Most High likens us as a woman, as you read in scripture. Was that Jeremiah 6:2? Liking Zion as a comely and delicate woman. And one thing, like I said previously, with a woman, in order to test a woman's integrity, you have to go through high points and low points. You got to sometimes not have it to see if she's going to be there, if she's going to provide, if she's going to take care of the house when you jacked up. Say for instance, you get locked up or when you're in bad situations, is she going to still be there for you?
Yeah.
And the Lord tries us men of the Lord in the same type of dynamic, to see if we're going to actually crack, if we're going to actually go after our own lusts and leave the Most High and play the adultery.
If I can add to your point too, every real love relationship is rocky as hell, man. Yeah. You always gonna, when you really love a woman, you're gonna go through it. It's always rocky, and that's the same relationship. That's the same. Things same format that the Most High puts us through. It's rocky, man. Our lives are very rocky. It's it ain't no smooth path. All right.
This is Jeremiah 6:2. It says, "I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman." All right, verse 3. Their shepherds with their flock shall come unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her round about. They shall feed everyone in this place. And the main point I wanted to go into was verse 2, where it says, "I have likened the children of Zion, or Zion, as a comely and delicate woman." And, that just backs up the point right there. So we're looked at in the eyes of the Most High like a woman. All right, and right now, we in this time of chastisement. The Lord chastises us through His word and through adversity. The scriptures speak about how the gold is tried through the furnace of adversity. All right, to do what? To test a man's heart, to see what sort of man he is, to see a man that can actually hold on, and is he going to actually, keep the faith until the end, no matter if he's in highs, lows. As Paul and YAHAWAHSI suffered shipwreck, was in poor conditions, was in conditions where they was at their highest, they was in positions where everyone hated them. All right, but at the end of the day, they always had faith in YAHAWAH, YAHAWAHSI. All right, that's the example of a man of the Lord, a man of nobility. Such as Job, which I'm going to probably, Lord willing, get a couple accounts in Job. But Job, he lost everything to do what? Test his integrity. Not that the Lord just wanted to make him broke to see or just make them broke just for no apparent reason. It was all for a higher purpose. Mm-hmm. All right. So when we go through these low ships and we go through these dry spells financially, even dealing with women, don't think the Lord is just picking on you like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with this little guy. Nah, man. Mm-hmm. The Lord is actually doing certain things to try your faith, to try and see if you're gonna hold it down for the long haul. All right. So that's the main thing I had. You had anything?
You bring up what you got.
I just looked. Bro was talking about pretty much how we're the Most High's woman. Kind of the conversation came out about women. I just looked up vow. I was thinking about especially in marriage. You have vows. Mm-hmm. So I just went into this Edom online of the noun vow. It says a solemn promise from Anglo-French, Old French, originally from Latin. Votum, a promise to a god.
And the vow that we made was the promise to keep the covenants of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Mm-hmm. All right, and in this earth, you're going to have temptations of other gods that's going to tempt you. Temptations of the lust, which is the flesh. All right, temptations of everything, man. Money, women. These different things are there to alleviate you. And I want to bring out this one other point, which you had read about vows. Now, when a man and a woman actually consummate, so to speak, or come together, they actually have to read the vows. In modern day, you have the preacher that's actually reads the vows, and one of the main things he says is through sickness or through health, basically through ups and downs, you have to actually stay with this man. Mm-hmm. And then they basically said, "Are you together? Are you willing to stick this out?" So to speak, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And then the female says, "I do," and then the male says, "I do," and then they're actually joined together. And it's the same dynamics with us in the Lord. When we join to the Lord, we actually accepted everything that came with the territory. Mm-hmm. Whether we had to lose things, all right, lose our lives. That's being what? A full sacrifice. You can't be like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice, but I want to keep this. No, when you read the scriptures about the sacrifices, the priests did whatever with the portions of the substance that they wanted. They had the full authority to actually take the substance, and they would give you what was needful for you to receive. And as is written in the scriptures, give us this day our daily bread. Yeah. So the Most High puts you in a low situation, but He always makes sure that you have the necessities of life at the end of the day.
Yeah. You got the parable with the rich man. All right. Yahawashi was basically he was like, I've kept the law from my youth, and I've done this and this and that, but how can I get the kingdom of heaven? And Yahawashi basically told him, he was like, are you ready to basically leave all your possessions? He said he was a rich man. All right, he basically said no. All right, so we have to have that same mindset of just putting all, being able to sacrifice anything for our salvation. All right,
we can finish bring this out. Once again, it's originally from the Latin votum, a promise to a god, solemn pledge, dedication to which is promised. So it's a serious agreement. You know what I'm saying? Like you sign up, just like the brother brought out in was it Jeremiah?
6 and 2.
It's we have to trust in the Lord through everything. That's how we're going into it, through the ups, the downs. Brothers, we have our own personal testimonies, of course, about things that we've lost, but every brother's walk is a little bit different. But the overarching theme of it all is you're gonna have lows, just like we have highs. There's times when brothers get together, you just high in the spirit. There's times you gotta bow through the low points as well.
That's right. Paul spoke about knowing how to base and abound. And if you think that you're gonna just be on YAHAWAH, so to speak, to the end, then you got a black woman spirit on you, man. You got to be a man. The scripture says that understand and be ye men. Be ye men. One thing about a man understands that even though he's in a certain degree, he can always lose that position. Even if he got money today, he could be broke tomorrow. Even though he has the world, the cars, the clothes, the hoes today, all these different things could be going tomorrow. And we see plenty of examples. We could look at a natural scope and pan around at these different celebrities and these top dogs, these figures of the world, and see when they was at their height, and you see how they actually fell, man. A lot of these individuals crashed and burned. So us brothers that's in a lower state, we got to embrace this lower state and really appreciate it, you know, because at the end of the day, the Lord is taking us through these situations for a reason. All right, of course, we want the high. We all want the kingdom of heaven. We want everything. Can you get that?
Okay.
We want the everything that comes with the kingdom of heaven, you know. But right now, we have to go through things. All right, just as YAHAWAHSI. YAHAWAHSI said the servant is not greater than the master. What did YAHAWAHSI have to go through? He got mocked. They cursed him out. Basically, they spoke low of his name, spoke ill of his name, and he was the king of the world, man.
That's right.
He created this whole world, but he had to take the low position. He was still lowly sitting upon an ass. He still washed the disciples' feet. He still got talked down. He still was the poor of the earth. But guess what? He retrieved at the end of the day. The right salvation, all right, so to speak, he got resurrected. All right, and he sits on the right hand throne of the Most High. So if we keep it on, and continue to hold this thing down, we're gonna actually receive a reward according to our labor.
Yeah.
And I got the scripture. You was done with what you had?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Matthew. Let's see. Okay.
I got some real quick.
Yeah, you wanna bring it out.
This is I happened to look up the definition of hardship, and it led me to this word. One of the synonyms was privation. All right, and that word privation is a state in which things that are essential for human well-being. Privation. Like
Okay.
you get that word deprivation.
Okay.
A state in which things that are essential for human well-being, such as food and warmth, are scarce or lacking.
Yeah.
And it says the loss or absence of a quality or attribute that is normally present. So we can't take anything for granted. Okay? All right, the Lord, He can take away anything. He can take away our food and warmth and our comfort. You know, Micah 2:10, this is not our rest. So we can't get comfortable in this oppression, in this hell that we're living in, man.
Because at the end of the day, we're temporary settlers. You know, you may stay in an apartment, a little one-bedroom apartment. But guess what? You're a sojourner here, man. Temporary sojourning here.
It's just a lease.
You shouldn't be in that. Yeah, you shouldn't be in that mentality. All right, I'm gonna settle down here. You know, I'm gonna try to get the fattest crib in Babylon that Babylon has to offer. I'm gonna get all the bitches. Nah, man, you in the wrong mentality. You know, you have to grind for the kingdom of heaven. The scriptures speak about to preach for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right, and as we actually gather this information, and we gather the elect 144,000 on our road to redemption, so to speak, just like the brother said, it's going to be turbulent. All right? It's going to be windy. You're going to have to go through these windy roads. You're going to have to go through all these different things to reach the destination. Just like when you're driving. If you're driving from point A to point B, say when you're driving from one state or one side of the world of America to the next side, you're going to go through all kind of stuff, man. All kind of terrain.
Yeah.
Right.
Windy roads, you know, straight, you know, sharp turns and things of that nature. Dirt roads.
Inclement weather.
Yeah, different climates and things of that nature. But it's gonna give you experience at the end of the day. You're gonna be like, yeah, I know when it's snowy and icy, I know how to ride on that weather. All right, I know when it's time to sit to the side and just park and lay low until it's time for the ice to melt off the road, so I can actually ride proficiently and efficiently, so to speak.
Right.
So you gotta have that mentality at the end of the day that you're gonna get to the finish line no matter what's in front of you. Because this truth is an obstacle course, man.
Yeah.
This isn't just something that any man can sign up for and make it to the finish line. You're gonna go through straits, like the brother said earlier.
Yeah, I got that too. What did you have? Okay.
I have.
Okay. It's Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So, like Brother Barzal was saying, you know, this ain't cut out for everybody. All right, you know, this is only cut. This is only for the men. Okay, you know, men that are willing to go through the trenches and go through, you know, all types of hardships and privations. All right.
And you know what it does at the end of the day? It makes you tough, man. Just like when you give your flesh a beating, Say for instance, you working you know, with your palms, so to speak, a lot of grip-based jobs. What happens? You develop calluses, man. That's the toughness to endure rigorous work. So it's the same thing with your mind. The more you actually go through things, like the scriptures say, from the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The more stress that you actually put on your spirit, the more that you know how to bear burdens, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you went through certain things in the past and you live to see the next day, you could go through these different things and still sustain, man.
Yeah.
Because it's building you. Everything is to build your faith, build your integrity, build your spirit to endure, to be more durable. All right, and I have a quick point. I'm going to give it right back to you.
Yeah.
But this is the definition of durability. The ability to withstand wear, pressure, or damage. So it says resilience, these are synonyms, imperishability. So you're not able to perish. That's that goal. Durableness, longevity, resilience, strength, sturdiness, toughness, robustness, which robust means full body. You got to be full bodied in this thing, man. They demonstrated this is just an example given. They demonstrated the durability of the plastic. All right, and the antonym of durability is fragility. And does the Lord want a fragile-minded individual? No, He wants a man that's durable. So He has to bring you through tests to strengthen you. Just like with anything, if you're in boot camp, they're gonna make you actually get in the dirt. You're gonna have to goddamn sweat your ass off. You're gonna have to get in the water in a certain degree, situations. You're gonna be around gnats, insects, all kinds of different things. You're gonna hear gunshots, constantly, being shot off in your ear, But guess what? You're gonna be woke up at certain times. You're gonna be working at times that rearrange your whole clock, your circadian rhythm. But at the end of the day, what? They psych your spirit out because you're finna fight a major battle, man.
Right.
All right, so that you don't go in that battle and get shell-shocked. Because you got a lot of individuals that don't take things serious, and when the serious times come, they're not ready for it. That's why they have, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Like I said, shell-shock and things of that nature. Their heads be all fucked up, So we have to actually, envision these different things and prep and condition ourselves through durability and things of that nature because the battle is close at hand, so to speak.
Yep.
You keep going up.
Okay. Verse 14. I'll start back at 13. Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
If I can add real quick.
Yeah.
And that's one thing too. You don't want to see. You got to actually embrace this straight gate, man. This narrow path. This walk of difficulty, so to speak. Because if you walk off this path, you take the broad path that scriptures say, you just lead yourself into destruction, man. You got to actually have the understanding of why ultimately the Most High YAHAWAHSI is putting you through certain situations. Even if you don't fully understand exactly what's happening in that moment, just like the brother brought out, I believe in Isaiah, just trust in the Lord, man. Just trusting that the Most High has the situation under control, and you ain't got to worry about understanding everything in that moment. Just continue that walk, because if you step off that path, man, you can very well find yourself in a destructive situation.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, just like with balancing, you see certain people on the balance beam. What's that profession? With people that deal with the balance, is the acrobats and things of that nature?
Yeah,
trapeze?
acrobat.
Or acrobat?
Yeah, acrobats. You'll see acrobats. Their whole thing is what? Being balanced, man. And they have to do what? They don't just jump on the balance beam. What they gotta do? They gotta work out. They gotta condition themselves. They gotta fall and bust their ass plenty of times to even learn how to balance their weight. It takes a lot to know how to balance yourself, so to speak. And then you see certain acrobats, they be performing, hitting backflips, all kind of shits on that balance beam. And that's how we gotta be in the faith. Even though we on this straight and narrow, we got the skill to actually walk it. All right, and how do you gain skill? Through being tried, experience. All right, the word experience goes to expedite, being tried out. You gain skills as you go, gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge, gaining understanding, building with the fellow brothers, understanding testimonies. All these different things actually develop you in your long walk to the kingdom of heaven, so to speak. You keep going.
Okay. Says
And I got some after you.
Okay. Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. And that's the masses, man. You know, that's the masses of people. They're just led as sheep to the slaughter. It says, verse 14, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Yeah, because few there be that don't want to walk it. That's what it is. Few there be that don't find, or excuse me, it says few there be that find it, because first off, there's few there be that seek it. And furthermore, above the ones that seek it, is few there be that want to fully walk it. The scriptures speak about counting the cost, whether you have sufficient to finish it. All right? And the scriptures also say many are called and few are chosen. Because in order to be chosen, you have to walk and you have to go through the things that a man that's chosen will have to go through. You read about Paul. Paul had to go through a lot, man.
Right.
All these different books. A lot of these books he wrote when he was in prison, man. You know, he suffered prison. Oh, John, he was on the island of Patmos in the salt mines in the prisons, still keeping the faith. You didn't hear John writing a letter talking about how he was in a fucked up situation and he need finances. Everybody done left him. Everybody's dead, and he don't want to do the work. Nah, he was still dealing with the visions of the Lord. He was still pushing the faith of YAHAWAHSI and disregarded himself. He denied himself. YAHAWAHSI said that you got to deny yourself. James, he got beheaded. John, you know, he got put to death. All right, Peter got crucified. All these different disciples, they went through a long list of hell in their quest for salvation. And prior to them, not only the apostles, but Jeremiah, he got locked up in prison. All these different men of the Lord, they had to go through a heap of things in order to make it to the finish line, man.
Yeah.
So how much more as brothers that's actually signing up to take the same course as these respected individuals that have testimonies that's present all over the world? How can we battle on that same plane? We have to go through the same things these men went through. Scripture speak about how the prophet is subject unto the prophet. So if you're a prophet, you have to go through the things that a prophet will go through. Right? And you got some more?
Well, that was it. I got another one too.
Oh, I just want to get something.
Go ahead,
back,
man.
and then I'll let you get it out. 2 Ezra 7:1, going to the straight gate. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night before. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear thee the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Yeah, and that's what it's about. You have to go through these narrow, which the narrow is the tight. That's a tight place. It can be dark, but you have to go through these different things in order to get to the broad, which is the kingdom of heaven. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So like the brother was talking about the acrobat. All right. He's basically walking that very tightrope. You know, with fire on one side and water, very deep water on the other. All right. And both sides is death.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the way we got to move in this truth, is be very focused and balance this thing,
Careful.
Yeah, be careful, be very cautious with every step, tiptoe, on the tightrope.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, it says, dangerous place to fall, like as it were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive the inheritance?
Yeah.
So even though we have to go through this danger, this is a necessary evil. All right, it's necessary for us to go through these tribulations and these hardships. It's necessary for us to get tried and burned on this side, because you live and learn. And at the end of the day, as we progress in this walk and get these spiritual brands all over our spirit, we'll be qualified for the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, and just to add to that point, you know, how would it be if the Lord just gave us the kingdom of heaven, all right, and we don't even know what hell was like? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just go straight to the kingdom of heaven, never went through nothing, never even had to go through shit. We wouldn't even know the opposite. We wouldn't even know, you know, in order to know how good the kingdom of heaven is, we have to know how bad this place is. You know, how much hell, you know, so that's the reason why we catch hell. All right? Is because it's all gonna make sense, and you know, we're gonna enter into that rest.
Right, add to what you just said. I mean, just like going into the acrobats, it shows you balance. You know, the scripture speaks about the Most High is not a false balance. There's no false balance, and false balance is the abomination. You know, it shows you the balance. You know, we have this marvelous, magnificent promise that's laid out before us, but you gotta have a balance. It can't just be all good. It can't be all good and no hard times, man. It don't even make sense. That just goes part to the understanding of why you, like the brother said, going to the understanding of why you're going through hard things, man. You're going through hard things because it's gonna give you balance enough that you prove yourself to the Most High, so you can actually go into the good things and attain the good things.
Right? Necessary evil.
Necessary evil. That's resist training, man. You gotta have weights on your arm, so to speak, and you have to, you know, pump that iron in order to get stronger, man. So it's the same thing. You get oppressed and that energy actually pushed down on you, but you have to resist it. The more you resist these energies, it builds your faith. All right, think about an individual that ain't went through shit. He went through shit. He was fed with a golden spoon or a silver spoon, as they say. You know, he doesn't know where he came from. That type of individual, when tribulations and situations arise, he's gonna go AWOL, man. He's gonna jump ship. You know, just like when a lot of times with certain people that's riding the boats or ships. A lot of times, if it's an evacuation, the man on board, the man that's navigating, which is, I forget his office, the individual that's navigating the ship, but he's supposed to be the last person to get off ship, man. The captain. The captain is the last person to get off ship. Everybody has to get to safety before he actually is able to get to safety. He's not the first one to jump off ship, man. That's madness. So it's the same dynamic. We actually have to have that mindset that we're going to hold it down to the end. All right? Even if we have to be the ones that have to die, because ultimately we the vanguards. The vanguards, so the front structure of the military, that's the strength, man. You know? Of course, it trickles all the way down, but just like when you watch 300 and these different movies, it show you that the body, man. That's why it was all about what? Toughness, ferociousness. Because that energy trickles on down. And the individuals that's in the front, they had to go through situations, man. In order to be in the front line, so to speak, in order to represent the men up under, you know? And through that energy and through the situations these individuals go through, it builds the individuals behind them to the point where they don't even have to go through the same things. They just know the captains and the leaders, and they understand what the men above them actually had to go through to be in that position. And that's a good flow of energy, so to speak. That makes you more stronger. Makes you more ferocious. It keeps the morals high. All right? Right. And I'm going to go to I'm going to keep going. This is verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail.
Yeah, and that's, you know, after Adam went off, that was the punishment, because originally it was supposed to be, you know, it was supposed to be Eden, you know, paradise, you know, like the kingdom of heaven, you know. But when transgression came, that's when the Lord said, okay, well now I got to make it hard for you, you know. Now you got to go through things.
What he said, in the sweat of thy brow.
God, yep.
Meaning going, he had to till, he had to do that physical manual labor. That's a representation of us. Of the curses, Deuteronomy 28, we still under the curses.
Yep.
Hey, Jake be thinking they're going to live good and get all the blessings in the midst and be under the curses at the same time.
That don't make sense.
That don't make no sense. Scripture speak about how we subject the payments. In order for prophecy, for you to actually feel the prophecy, you gotta understand these things. You subject the payments. All your money is as a bag with holes.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna be the tail and not the head. You know, your woman is gonna be against you. Jake be thinking that they're gonna, find a Rapunzel in the faith, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna find Syrian reincarnation in Judah. Nah, man. Scripture says that your wife shall be a harlot in the city.
Yeah.
Meaning you're gonna just be down. But guess what? After you go through the down, you go back up.
That's right.
All right, and it says, then were the interests of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the interests of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. And what's the elder world? The old world. The old world was paradise, like the brother said during the time of Adam. It's, as the scripture says, the elder world were wide and sure, meaning you were sure to live for the longevity. All right, but what? Cain being the first murder, that he brought death into the world, man.
Yep.
When sin came into the world, then came death. Then came sicknesses. Then the lifespan shot all the way down. The oldest man to live, recorded in the scriptures, was Methuselah. He lived to be 969. Right. Adam lived in his 900. So a lot of these men of the Lord lived to be 900 plus years old. Now it done dropped down to, as the scriptures talk about in Sirach, I forget the max age.
I believe it's 120.
Yeah, 120, which that's a rare amount of individuals that reach that. And even if they do reach it, they sick as all hell.
Yep.
They can't function. They're not maneuvering how they want to. A lot of their vision is impaired. Hearing is impaired. So we cursed. So it says, for the interests of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter into these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. And that's the main point.
We'll probably get a couple more and then close up. I got 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWAHSI HaMashiach. And this is a classic precept, and we can't bring this out enough, because that's the bottom line, is we have to endure hardness, endure hardships. We are going to go through things, and we are going to meet resistance, but a good soldier is gonna push through that, push through the obstacles and conquer.
Gonna hold it down. He's gonna keep his head on the swivel at all times. No matter if he takes a shot. Hey, sometimes soldiers get shot in battle, man.
Yeah.
They might not fully die, but they have to get medical assistance, treatments. They might have to sit down for a little bit, but guess what? Get back on that battlefield. They don't bitch up and say they want to go home at that point. Well, you got some of them that do that, but I'm just giving the scenario at hand. You got individuals that know there's a battle that has to fight, that be fought, and furthermore, there's a battle that has to be won. Right? Because we not fighting vainly, we fighting to win.
Right.
And if you have to be a casualty of war, guess what? You signed up for the sacrifice. That's part of signing up for the military. You sign up to be a sacrifice, to be honest.
Yeah, you're just gonna sign up for the military and then be like, oh, he got killed. You start bugging out like, I ain't signing up for this. Like, man,
that's what you signed up for.
You should have known.
Like, you know how many people died in this service, man? Same thing with the scriptures. Do you know how many men died in this service? Hebrews the 11th chapter. All the men, to be honest, everybody in these scriptures died.
God.
But a lot of them got killed. Righteous men got killed. All right, through actually pushing the word and actually, pushing out the spirit of YAHAWAHSI.
That's right. Yeah, so, Lord willing, you brothers, did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Hey, Lord willing, you brothers were edified, and we want to give our praise to
YAHAWAH, YAHAWAHSI, BAHASHAM,
that belongs to the elders and apostles. Shalom.
Shalom.